Bill Gates is no stranger to all the money mines throughout the globe, but he's been a busy man lately, from dealing with the pandemic to unfortunately having a divorce. And on a lighter note, pulling up at the Dairy Queens for a quick shift with the greatest investor of all time, the legendary Warren Buffett. When it comes to making money, there aren't many men known to make more money than Gates. He has made some interesting moves in the world of investing, and so in this video, we're going to break down his portfolio and his current investing strategy for you guys, and we're going to see where Mr. Microsoft has invested all his money this year. So make sure you watch the video till the end because you don't want to miss out on this one. Welcome to 5-Star Finance, the place where we teach you how to achieve financial freedom. So Mr. Microsoft's net worth at the time of making this video is somewhere around $132 billion. It might fluctuate. So when we look at where he has all of his money invested, we cannot look into some investments due to the protocol, but most of the stocks he owns can be analysed thanks to the 13F filing. First and foremost, we're going to start with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. And with this foundation, they have to disclose all the stocks they own. So let's peek into it. The first stock, and probably the go-to stock for many value investors out there, is Berkshire Hathaway, Class B shares to be exact. Now Berkshire makes up 45.5% of its portfolio for Gates, and that is a quite healthy position. These Berkshire stocks are worth $10.56 billion for Gates in total, and that's a company run by Bill Gates' good old mate, Warren Buffett. Now, essentially it's a holding company, as most of Warren Buffett lovers out there already know. Berkshire Hathaway is a company that usually looks for and hunts down quality businesses and invests in a range of these businesses, which can bring big profits for Berkshire, and the decisions are made by the man himself, Mr. Buffett. So to put the long story short, through owning Berkshire, Gates is immediately exposed to some of the biggest companies like Apple, Bank of America, Coca-Cola, General Motors, Geico, Dairy Queen, and all of the other amazing investments out there picked out by the Oracle of Omaha that can bring great returns for Bill Gates. Moving down to the second big position in the portfolio, we have Waste Management. Now Gates has an astonishing 18.2 million shares in this company, valued at $2.78 billion. This stock makes up about 12% of his portfolio. Now before moving ahead, we want to acknowledge that a lot of these investing decisions for Bill Gates are made by Michael Larson, who is the head investor of the Bill Gates Fund. And when we look more into Larson, we can see that he started investing for Bill Gates back in 1993-94. And he is continuing to make some important decisions for Gates' portfolio. Now looking into the business model that Waste Management has, it is a pretty easy company to break down and get our head around actually. They usually manage all the waste in North America. They have 293 landfill disposal sites, followed up by 146 recycling plants and 111 beneficial use landfill gas projects. When it comes to the pricing of this stock, it has been doing quite well over the last couple of years. It sells for $146 per share and the PE ratio is 34, which provides us with a brief idea of what type of market we're in. We're in a fairly pricey one, and they do pay a very nice dividend of 1.8%. Moving on to the third largest position in Gates' portfolio, we're looking at Caterpillar. Now, we can notice that Gates loves those value stocks, and he's not risking his money in those high-growth tech companies. On the contrary, he just goes out there and buys some conservative stocks that are generating the cash flow for him. Now, Caterpillar makes up about 8% of his portfolio and is worth some $1.86 billion. As most of us already know, thanks to the cat logo on literally every construction equipment we've ever seen, Caterpillar is a company that deals in construction machinery and equipment. It is the world's largest construction equipment manufacturer. Even the stock has some nice number game going on. So the price per share is $201 and the PE ratio is 17, which is pretty nice in this current market, and the dividend yield is 2.2%. Moving down to the fourth holding in his portfolio, Bill Gates has a big stake in the Canadian National Railway, and he's the largest single shareholder in the company and owns about 13 million shares in the company, which are valued at about $1.5 billion, and this company constitutes 6.5% of the portfolio. So, all of the Canadians out there, you probably have an idea already about the Canadian National Railway, or at least have a lot to thank for it. It is the largest railway in Canada, with 24,000 employees and 20,000 miles of track, and they deliver almost everything ranging from food and beverages to metals and minerals. Next up, the fifth largest holding is Walmart. It's worth some 4.16% of Gates' portfolio and is valued at some $965 million. As we already know, it's a conservative stock. It has a stable business model and it is a pretty safe place to invest your money. Now, we won't even tell you what Walmart is all about. We all know what they're all about. Next up, we have the Ecolab. As we already know, it's a water purification company and comes in as the 6th largest holding in Gates Trust. Ecolab holds some 3.8% of Gates' portfolio and is valued at $910 million. We all know that sometimes people do hate these billionaires, and Bill Gates has also been hated a lot. But the fact that he usually invests in companies that are doing good in the world is a strong testament to his intentions of goodwill. Now, the 7th largest company is Microsoft. A bit of a twist there, but obviously, as we already know that Microsoft is a company that was founded by Bill Gates and he built all of his fortunes through this company. The position is worth some 3.5% of the trust and is valued at $828 million. Microsoft's share price is $300 per share and its market cap is an astonishing $2.2 trillion. That makes it the 2nd largest company in the world behind Apple. Gates also owns a good percentage of Crown Castle, and this is a company that builds the infrastructure for the internet and the cell network. Now, analysing this critically, this is quite a clever investment by Mr. Gates, to be honest. We all know how important the internet is to the modern world, so if you own the infrastructure behind the internet, you're ruling the game. You're in a very strong position. The 9th largest position in Gates Trust is owned by the freight rail transportation business, which makes up about 2.56% of the portfolio. And at number 10 is UPS, the shipping company, worth 1.79% of the portfolio. So these were stocks that make up about 91.49% of the overall portfolio, and the rest of the 8.5% is made by stocks like Coca-Cola, FEMSA, which is like the Mexican cola, and Schrödinger, the life science company, and Deerco, which was a recent buy for Gates, which is a heavy equipment company. The rest are very small positions, well under 1%. Another big position that many value investors ask is, how do these billionaires make their money? And how do they know how much money should go in the market and how much should be kept on the sidelines? Now, what Bill Gates does is that he takes more of a defensive approach to the game. According to the data from the Bloomberg Billionaire Index, the tech billionaire has $56.6 billion in the bank as cash. So that means he has around 43% in cash. Gates also said that the strategy he likes the most is to stay 60% or more in equities. Now, you can make a case that stock market yields aren't very high at the moment, but that's true against all asset classes. But the stocks are still the better option to invest in than most of the assets out there. But for that, everything starts with analysing the stocks, and for this purpose, we've provided a free ebook in the link given below, which will explain the 6 stock categories. Either way, 60% in stocks and 40% in cash seems to be the kind of balance he likes. But the strategies can vary depending on your favourite stocks and the circle of your competence. So what do you think about these stocks in Bill Gates' portfolio? You can tell us about your favourite stocks below and make sure you press the subscribe button because we're going to be replying to everyone who presses the subscribe button and then comments subscribed. Check out the video we handpicked for you and we'll see you in the next one.